My friend, the kangaroo, wanted to be in this video, or maybe I wanted him to be in the video. I don't really care. He's cute. It reminds me of when I used to have Mr. Rochester on my shoulder. So just, pretend this is a real kangaroo. Although I don't think a real kangaroo could fit on my shoulder. Anyways, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Eleanor Coppola's narrative debut. She obviously directed a documentary about Apocalypse Now. This is Paris Can Wait. It was originally called Bonjour Anne, but now it's called Paris Can Wait. It's always strange when titles get changed. I kind of think Bonjour Anne is a better title for this film. It stars Diane Lane and Arnaud Viard and Alec Baldwin. So Alec Baldwin, Diane Lane, and Alec Baldwin and Diane Lane are a married couple. They were at Cannes. This was filmed during Cannes 2005, I think, because it's the Ingrid Bergman 68th anniversary Cannes posters are in the background. Alec Baldwin plays a film producer, and Diane Lane is his wife. They were supposed to be going on vacation to Paris, but he gets called away on business to Budapest, and she has an ear infection and can't really ride the mini plane. So his business partner, played by Arnaud Viard, gives her a ride to Paris in a trip that was supposed to take a handful of hours, takes 2 days, and many, many meals. There's some fun Coppola-isms in that, obviously, Diane Lane is no stranger to working with Coppola. She was in several of Francis Ford's films. And then, not listed on here, but, hold on. That would show up on the IMDb. There's one of the actresses from Apocalypse Now, one of the few actresses in Apocalypse Now, is in this film. Hold on, it's loading. It's loading. Not the dancers, sorry, I didn't expect this to take so long. Not Colleen Camp, but Aurora Clement. I guess she's only in the Redux redo version. But Aurora Clement's in it for like a second, and when she popped up, I was like, I see what you did there. She's also been in Sofia Coppola's films. So she was in Marie Antoinette as well. It's always nice to see her pop up in films, and now she's in all these Coppola. She's in 3 different Coppola films now, at least. That's fun. But mostly this is a two-hander between Diane Lane and Arnaud Viard, and they have really good friend chemistry with the that little like sizzle that like could go past being friends. That feeling. Now I am I am very biased towards anything that involves Diane Lane. Although, if you will recall, several years ago, I gave that film that she made, oh my God, what was the name of that one? Every Little Thing. I gave that a bad review. That was not a good film. I thought this film was great. I really enjoyed it. It's like a fantasy for me because basically it was like going on a road trip through France, eating really good food with Diane Lane, and that's like all I ever wanted in life. So I love Diane Lane so damn much. So the film is based on a true story of Eleanor having gone on a similar road trip with a business partner of her husband, Francis, when he had to go off to somewhere else. So it's based on a real story. Apparently Nicolas Cage was originally supposed to be in it, which just sounds kind of amazing. Sorry, I'm rambling. Just look at the kangaroo. So in the film, once they've gone off, they're in this little car and they keep stopping. They just keep stopping. Sometimes they stop to look at things. Sometimes they stop to eat. And it's sort of reminded me of some of those more slower-paced European films where people just have lots of conversation. And in this case, it's a lot of, you don't get a lot from the male character, even though she keeps trying to get him to talk. But you get a lot from Diane Lane's character's point of view and what she's feeling as she moves into a new phase of her life. And I think it is very generational in that the kind of angst that she's having is not necessarily the angst that younger generations will have, because and definitely not in terms of like socioeconomic class. You know, this is a wealthy person. These are wealthy people. They're going to have wealthy people angst. And there's plenty of films that discuss wealthy people angst. So as long as that doesn't bother you, which I noticed in a lot of the reviews of this film, that was brought up. And I always find it fascinating when class is brought up in films and when it's not, because there's a lot of films that take place in this upper echelon that don't get critiqued for taking place in this upper echelon. And then there's a lot of films that are basically like poverty porn, and people don't bring up that it's poverty porn. And so I'm always just like, yeah, films are going to take place in different socioeconomic backgrounds, and if that's the milieu it's in, that's the milieu it's in. And this is the milieu that Eleanor Coppola knows, and so that's what she's exploring. I don't understand why she can't explore her own socioeconomic class, but that's just me. So I enjoyed this. I love France. I love eating. When I go on vacation, I do two things. I eat, and I watch movies in theaters that I've never been in, and that's all I want to do when I go on vacations. And I particularly love eating. And I also really love taking pictures of food. And the character in this film, Diane Lane's character, takes a lot of photos. And it's fun to see sort of the things that she finds interesting. And I think that tells you a lot about Eleanor Coppola as a filmmaker and as a person, like the details in life that she enjoys, you can see in this film. And she's a very detail-oriented person. So I enjoyed this film. I'm guessing that it will probably play better with like older women. The bulk of the audience was definitely like older women. But everyone laughed at all the points that were really funny, and there were some really funny moments. Everyone was laughing. I feel like the whole audience had a really good time watching this film. So I suggest giving it a chance, especially if you like one of three things: food, road trips, Diane Lane. If you like any of those three things, I think you'll enjoy this film. So that's my review. That's Paris Can Wait, also known as Bonjour Anne, and it's by Eleanor Coppola, and I quite enjoyed it. This is my raccoon, not a raccoon, kangaroo. She doesn't have a name, but she does have a pocket, which is great. Now she's gonna look right in your face. Okay, now that we've gone really bizarre into this place, I'm going to turn off the camera. Have a good weekend.